Welcome back. I'm Carol Batchelor, and I'm sitting here in studio with Julie Sebattis. She is the Aquatic Interdiction Specialist for the State of Utah Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife Resources at the Wahweap Marina.
Yes. Hi. Thank you.
So you work for the State of Utah, and you work at the Wahweap Marina, and you're on the launch. And what is it? Why don't you tell folks who have not heard from you before what it is that you do there?
Yeah. So I run the Aquatic Invasive Species Containment Program for the state of Utah, and we work at Wahweap Marina, so State Line and Wahweap launch ramps, as well as we are over at Antelope Point launch ramp. We're working very collaboratively with the National Park Service and Arizona Game and Fish to really educate boaters on what quagga mussels are and their threat, and then we're there to provide inspections and decontaminations for all the high-risk boats that are coming off of the lake.
And the threat to other bodies of water in Utah. They currently exist strictly in Lake Powell. We want to keep them there, not in other bodies of water. So that is your prime function.
Yeah, so they are here in Lake Powell, and so our sole reason for being here is to prevent the spread and the transport of both the lake water and actual mussels away from the lake. They filter feed, so they're removing a lot of the nutrients that much of the rest of the ecosystem depends on, and they have these what's called byssal threads that are very sticky, fine thread-like hairs that can attach to any hard surface. And if they get into any kind of piping that distributes water, that's going to be a huge cost down the road for every taxpayer.
Right.
It'll cause problems for the agriculture industry and just supplying water for drinking water. So we're trying to prevent the spread of it to delay any costs for as long as possible.
That's not been the case for a long time, right? I mean, this was a recent discovery. How many years ago did it become an issue here in Lake Powell?
Yeah, they were discovered in Lake Powell in 2013.
Yeah.
And since then, it was more down lake, and over the years, they've been able to expand their range, and they are throughout the entire span of Lake Powell. And they are reproducing in this lake. So they are established. Unfortunately, they're not going to go anywhere.
So let's catch up. How's it been going this summer? You guys have been nonstop busy. I know we've had a very busy summer so far on the lake. What's going on the ramps?
Yes, we have seen an increase amount of boats this year compared to last year. And with the water level being a lot lower this year than it has been in years past, everyone's just seeing the mussels along the walls. With the water being lower, boats are now more close to where these mussels are being located. And so, a lot of people will come off the water and say, oh, this is new. I've never seen this before. And the reality is the mussels have been here for several years. So it's not a new occurrence, but just because the water level is lower, now they can see them and they're closer to the mussels. And that's actually presenting more of a threat because as folks use anchors, they're more likely to drop the anchor where mussels are actually located, and so it can dislodge mussels fairly easily. And as those mussels, break off of the rocks and they'll fall back onto the anchors, they can reattach with those sticky byssal threads, even after just a single day or an afternoon. With mussels getting potentially dislodged from, strong water movement or being displaced off of the rocks, then now they might be in the water column and can easily get sucked up into boats. We are starting to see mussels show up in sea strainers, which is a filter in the motor compartment that we're starting to look at. And who knows, maybe they're going into ballast tanks, and those are compartments that we can't look into. So there's a much bigger concern this year for the state of Utah and for all the surrounding states. We're starting to see mussels on anchors and in sea strainers travel elsewhere. I know the staff working on the ramps, Utah technicians and NPS and Arizona Game and Fish, we are doing everything we can. We're working out there tirelessly in this extreme heat that we've been having. I really wish it would cool off, but everybody's working really hard and trying to do the best that we can. But But that's why we're here trying to talk to the boaters and get that information out there that, we need everybody's help in making sure when you're out there on the water to, as you're pulling up anchors, look at them as you're pulling it up before you pull it into your boat, so then you're not putting mussels inside your boat. If you're out there and you have a sea strainer, check it before you come in to the dock and just rinse it off while you're out there, just to really help ensure that we're trying to minimize the risk of moving these mussels out of Lake Powell.
You've got a stream of boaters coming through, and every time you're doing one of those, about how long does it take when you're doing a decontamination to make sure?
Decontaminations, it really depends on the type of boat. A fishing boat with an outboard motor could take 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. But a wakeboard boat with multiple ballasts can take between half an hour to an hour. And so, as we continue to move forward, I would just anticipate, coming in, you'll want to check in at the top of the launch ramp with the National Park Service. They always just get some quick information and just let you know about the threat and the risk to mussels and what to expect on your way out. But just anticipate spending a little more time in the inspection line or in line for decontamination. We're trying to, like I said, do the best we can as fast as we can, but we just want to make sure we're covering all the correct measures to make sure no one's going to spread mussels elsewhere, and to ensure, that we're catching everything so you potentially don't get a ticket down the road as well. Right.
And there's some trust going on with the local boater program, and assuming that our residents are doing those precautions.
Yeah, we do have a couple different programs going on that, we feel that those are low-risk boats because they have been identified to stay right here in Page or Big Water. So everybody else, if they're not affiliated with one of our programs, then they do need to stay in the inspection line and at least be screened to determine their level of risk.
I imagine the 4th of July was a huge day for you out on the lake, and we've got another big holiday coming up for boating, and that's Pioneer Day. That's Tuesday. That's going to be a big day on the lake for boaters. Do you anticipate a crowd?
Yeah, we were very busy the whole week of 4th of July because the holiday came right in the middle of the week.
I know, that was weird.
So the whole week was busy, and we expect a lot of folks to be coming down to celebrate Pioneer Day and enjoy it out on the lake with their family and friends. We anticipate being busy. The weather's been fairly good, nice and warm, a little storm here and there, but that doesn't really deter people. So again, just if it is busy, just try to be patient with us. We're going to get through inspections and decontaminations as quickly as we can. And also note, just with the thunderstorms we've been having, we don't work in the lightning. It does pose a risk to us, especially for decontaminations, because we do decontaminations on a metal pad. And so for safety reasons, if there is lightning, just make sure you still get that inspection. So at least that can be checked if there's a checkpoint or a check station going on down the road. But decontaminations we just can't do in the lightning.
No, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be standing out on a metal plate in the middle of the lightning. So this is something to take into consideration. If you're out on your boat and you want to come in, but the weather's a little bit sketchy and you can see the lightning in and around the area, it's not a secret. It's pretty clear around here when we're having a lightning storm. So, just know that it potentially might impact or delay your getting that decontamination.
Right. It just comes down to, again, if for some reason inspectors aren't there on the launch ramp due to weather or it's the nighttime, just trying to get the message across about cleaning the boat, making sure there's no plants, mud, or definitely mussels attached inside or out that you can see, making sure all the compartments are drained, any live wells, ballasts, dropping that lower unit of the motor just to make sure that it's not holding any of the lake water, and then allowing your boat to dry out completely before launching it somewhere else will really help reduce the risk of spreading mussels. A lot of watercraft that we're seeing right now do fall under the 30-day dry time. So anything that has an inboard or inboard-outboard motor or ballast tanks would fall under that 30 days. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming and telling us about this, and we always love seeing you. We appreciate it. We cannot tell boaters enough, and we will continue to drill it into their heads so that they are taking the extra precautions to keep quagga mussels out of other bodies of water. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me. And if they ever have any questions, they can always feel free to visit our website. There's a lot of great information or phone numbers that they could contact folks within our division if they have further questions.